아, 오늘 프레젠테이션을 제가 영어로 준비했는데요. 엘라바마 시골에서 미국의 초등학교를 졸업하고 엘라바마 시골에서 살면서 한국어를 엘레멘트리 레벨에 메인테인을 하는 바람에 한국어를 한글을 잘 못하는 수준입니다. 그래서 영어로 오늘 프레젠테이션을 준비했는데 I want to thank the Korean school and the principal for inviting me here, and I am honored to share my experience in this forum with our future generation of leaders. For those of you who don't know me, I am Chief Administrative Law Judge of Maryland Office of Administrative Hearings. I am first person of color to serve as a Chief Administrative Law Judge in Maryland. As Chief Administrative Law Judge, I am currently managing 118 employees, including 55 administrative law judges who are responsible for resolving over 500 different types of disputes stemming from action or proposed action of at least 37 state government agencies. Last year alone, our administrative law judges resolved over 33,000 cases, so they have a significant impact in Maryland. Although I am a proud and longtime Marylander, I grew up in Alabama in a small town after my family and I immigrated to the United States from South Korea over 53 years ago. We, like many immigrants, had to overcome limited economic resources and language and cultural barriers with a lot of resolve, hard work, faith, and help and friendship of our neighbors. I was able to work my way through and graduate from Auburn University with a degree in chemical engineering, and later Columbus School of Law, Catholic University of America, while working as a patent examiner at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. After I completed the law school and passed the bar exam to receive law licenses in Virginia, Maryland, and Washington, D.C., I left U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to work for Union Carbide Corporation and Praxair as their intellectual property attorney. That is an attorney practicing in the areas of patents, trademarks, copyright, and trade secret law. I was later appointed as administrative patent judge with the U.S. Patent Trial and Appeal Board, and then as a chief administrative law judge. I am very honored to have been served our country as a U.S. administrative patent judge, and now honored and privileged to serve Maryland as a chief administrative law judge. I did not become an administrative patent judge or chief administrative law judge by accident. I had to work hard, take risks, persevere in the face of difficulties and challenges, and improve my skills and abilities continuously with confidence and without compromising my integrity and ethics. I was told everything in your life is a reflection of choice you have made. If you want a different result, make different choice. It was my choice to work hard. It was my choice to take risks. It was my choice to improve my skills and abilities. It was my choice to not give up in the face of obstacles or challenges. And it was my choice to have integrity and honesty and ethics. As these choices I have made shape who I am today, your choices today and tomorrow will shape who you will be in the future. You have choices to believe in yourself or not believe in yourself, to persevere in the face of challenges or give up in the face of obstacles, to work hard or to be lazy, to be better than you used to be or maintain the status quo, and to have integrity and ethics despite temptation. One of the life lessons I learned is having self-confidence, believe in yourself. When I was just an elementary student, I was an underperforming student. The reason I was underperforming was because I didn't believe myself to be smart, have ability to excel in studies. Because I gave up studying, and that reflected my performance, the type of grade I received. But those things changed when I came to US in 1971. When I was not able to speak the language well, so I focused on math, which I did better than others, and gave me self-confidence. And once you had that, you realize if you work hard, you can make a difference for yourself and whatever you did. And there are a lot of students here today who may believe they are not good, they don't have enough abilities to shape their future, or they may believe they don't have what it takes to become who they want to be, what they want to be. But those things can change if you truly believe in yourself. Having a positive outlook and positive thinking in what you can do and what you can accomplish can make a huge difference. I, like many of you, face many challenges. When I was going to college, I feel like quitting. And had I done so, I may not be here today. I may not have a degree in chemical engineering, but I persevered and graduated with a degree. And similarly, when I joined U.S. Patent and Trademark Office as a patent examiner, I was almost fired, terminated, because supervisor I had to work with felt my work did not reflect the level of skill he was looking for. And similarly, when I was being subject to promotion through what they call these programs for a year and I guess 6 months, 2 consecutive 6 months within 2 years. First program I passed with flying color, but the second program I was told I was not good enough. I made too many errors. But I requested reconsideration, and despite all the obstacles, I was able to overcome them and got promoted. But what I learned from that was those challenges became opportunity. When I realized that I can succeed despite all the obstacles that I was subjected to, I realized I could do even better as an attorney on the outside. So that challenges gave me an opportunity to succeed as an attorney on the outside, which subsequently resulted in the being appointed as an administrative patent judge. and then later as the chief administrative law judge. Even as a chief administrative law judge, I was appointed in the midst of COVID, and we had a lot of challenges. And I took those challenges as an opportunity as well. And I used that COVID as a tool to modernize our office. And as a result, we were able to avoid having a backlog like most courts and able to complete our work in a timely manner 99.99% of the time. So challenges can become opportunities for most of us if you embrace them despite difficulties, despite hardships associated with those challenges. And I can only tell you not to give up simply because you face obstacles and challenges, because if you overcome them, they will create greater opportunities for you for your later goals. President Calvin Coolidge once said, "Nothing can take the place of persistence or perseverance. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. World is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent." So everyone who made themselves a successful person realized the importance of persistence and determination. It's not just from my own experience and examples. You may have heard of the famous Mr. Disney. He was convinced that his idea would work, so he went to bank, facing rejection after rejection, until one finally agreed. It was a 305th bank he had approached, which finally agreed to invest in his idea. So he had 304 rejections, but he didn't give up. He continued. And now you know how successful Disney is. But it didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen by accident. It happened only because Mr. Disney was persistent and persevered in the face of rejection after rejection. And many of you who are dreaming of a better future, having a talent is great, being smart is important, but the most important of all is your determination, your willingness to work hard, your willingness to persevere, not giving up in the face of obstacles, and having a positive mindset regardless what you do. And those things, in my case, shape who I am today and who I became today. And if a person who grew up in small town in Alabama, where education is lackluster compared to here in Washington area. And these students from a Korean elementary school can succeed despite underperformance. I am sure you can do a lot better, much better. So continue to dream your dreams and embrace challenges and don't give up whatever you do. And always do the right thing and make sure that reflect your future. And again, I want to thank you for inviting me here today. And if you have any questions, I am willing to answer them. Thank you.
If you have a question, you can talk.
Here. Oh, yes, Your Honor. Can Your Honor hear me?
Sure.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for taking your time to speak to the students today. That is wonderful. Your Honor, I have a question. I am an attorney in the United States, and my question is, what do you think about the jury system where a group of people make determinations as to issues of fact? Do you have that in Korea? And oh, it's American judge. Oh, 미안합니다. I'm sorry. My question's a bad question then.
But let me answer that. Based on what I know,
Yes, sir.
I don't know whether Korean court system has the jury system we have here in the United States, but
Yes, sir.
administrative proceedings that myself and my judges are responsible for are not done under the jury system. A decision is rendered by our judges either after the proceeding, if it's a bench decision.
Yes, sir.
And if it's a written decision, either it's 15 days, 45 days, or 95 days after the proceeding is over, as required by the statute. So that the administrative proceedings are not done with the jury.
I completely misspoke, and thank you so much for your time and in guiding our students. It's so important to hear from you, and your background and history is quite admirable. And I hope your students listening today, the students listening today, will take a good lesson from that.
Thank you.
Justin, do you have any questions to him?
Turn it over.
I think I was sent 4 questions. One is, why did I choose to become a judge? I never envisioned becoming an attorney. When I first started out as a high school student, I wasn't a great writer, so I decided to become an engineer to avoid writing. But when I was first hired as a patent examiner, as an engineer, all that position requires is reading and writing. So I realized writing skill, that is communication skill, is important in whatever job you do. So when I say continuously improving your skill and abilities, that's part of it. What I did was I went to school during the night, tech writing courses of all kinds to continue to improve my writing skills. And I looked at and studied other good writings to enhance my writing skills. And of course, when you do that for years after years, just like you can only learn swimming by only jumping into water, the same can be said in terms of writing. So when I was doing this year after year, I began to improve despite that was my major weakness. And when I was in law school, I won the best brief award in one of the most important moot court competition. As an attorney, you probably are aware. And I became well known among the students as one of the creative writers because I accidentally won the best writing award in that moot court competition. So then I realized that once I improved writing and reading skills, in essence, I realized that working with attorneys, I realized I could become a good attorney, and I went to law school. When I went to law school, I realized judges play critical role in making fair and impartial decisions and imparting justice to everyone. So I want to be the one who wants to be fair, regardless of your background, color, race, ethnicity, gender. And of course, you need to follow the law because as a judge, your job is to interpret the law, right? Not make the law. And so within the bounds of the law, you want to make fair and impartial decision for everyone involved so that they all feel, who comes to our court, feel they got their justice or they had their opportunity to be heard. So being a judge is a great opportunity to make contribution to the fair and democratic society. And for those who are interested in law, I would recommend becoming a judge. And second question someone sent me was that whether I handle any criminal cases. Unfortunately, I did not. We have cases which are related to criminal cases, but it's not actually criminal cases. Administrative law involves disputes between state agencies and either private entities or private individuals. So we handle cases related to criminal cases, are child abuse and neglect cases, but in the context of administrative proceeding, not criminal proceeding. So there is a difference because if you are found guilty in the context of the administrative proceeding, we put you in the main registry, which is accessible to the community, but you don't get any criminal sanctions like incarcerated in a jail for a number of years. And we also deal with the fraud, public assistance fraud cases, but we only deal with the administrative sanctions. That is, for example, even if they are qualified, they are no longer entitled to public assistance for committing fraud for a year, 2 years, or 3 years, or permanently, depending on the situation involved. So we don't do any criminal cases, but we do cases that affects everyone's life, and it touches almost everyone in Maryland, because we also do your driver license cases where Maryland Motor Vehicle Administration revokes your driver license or suspends your driver license. And if you don't agree with that outcome, you can appeal to one of my judges. And we do environmental cases, medical doctor's license cases. We do people who are wrongly compensation for people who are wrongly incarcerated. We do police officer disciplinary cases. We do Maryland State personnel cases. I mean, there's almost no end to it. It touches almost everyone in Maryland. And I think there were 4 questions. So, and third question is to produce second generation of leaders. What kind of habit or attitude will be beneficial? I indicated in my presentation that in essence, what I indicated is that we are a product of our habits. That is, perseverance is a habit and attitude, right? Working hard is a habit and attitude. And those things affect and shape individual futures. And had I given up years ago, because I was subject to hard times, because I was very close to losing my job at that time, I would not be where I am today. I would be somewhere in Alabama, unemployed, maybe trying to catch fish and cleaning cars to make a living. But that critical moment, that very moment, when a lot of people gave up, when they were subject to hardships, hard times, and difficulties, I was willing to persevere. And that made a difference. I mean, without that difference, I would not be here today. And every student will have that moment sooner or later. And when he overcomes and type of choices he made, or because of their own habits, they decide to do one or the other, they will determine and shape what their future will be. And from my experience, that was the case. And I am sure that will be the case for students who are watching today. And I think one last question is, I think it deals with the teaching Korean language and culture. because second generation seems to move around and has less appreciation for learning the language and culture. I believe language and culture are very important because it gives a sense of identity as who you are. And if you're not proud of who you are, I don't think you can succeed in anything. And of course, learning a language, aside from knowing who you are, being a multilingual make you even more marketable than just being able to speak English language only. Because the world is becoming smaller, and the more language skills you have, more marketable you become, and more cultures you understand, you can deal with them business-wise or otherwise, and being more considerate of people you are dealing with from their perspective rather than on your own perspective, because what you think is right may not necessarily be right for the people in different culture. So your perception based on actual reality versus the perceived reality, I think is important when you work with people in a collaborative manner, whether it will be in the US or whether you decide to work internationally, representing US corporation or US government anywhere in the world. So my view is that the parents and teachers giving importance to learning the language and culture to learn their identity and improve their abilities, whether it's a language or otherwise, is critical in making those students more successful in the future. I think those are the 4 questions I was asked by the email that was sent to me.
There is one more question in the chatting chat.
Okay.
What are some good strategies to stay motivated when you are faced obstacle or your future seems uncertain?
That's the case for me when I was close to being fired, terminated from my job. Future was clearly uncertain. But at the time, I didn't know any better because I just finished college and that was my first job. But what I did was I worked hard, and whatever they thought was my weakness, I tried to strengthen. For example, my writing skills. And so I pay my own money, that is from salaries I receive from the government agency I work for. I use that money to pay for more education during the night to improve my writing skills. So it proved that the challenges you are facing, you think you are lacking in certain abilities to overcome those challenges, then you try to improve on it, whether it be based on courses from community colleges or it be based on people who went through that and giving you advice and mentoring you giving guidance and direction to you. So you look for those mentors and people could guide you through those difficulties. Whatever those obstacles are or challenges are, I will try to, obviously identify them, what they are, and see what's the best way to overcome them, right? If guidance is what is required, you look for people who work there with greater experience and gain their insight into how you may be able to do those things, overcome those obstacles. If it's a specific skill you are lacking, like I felt I was lacking in writing skills, I try to improve on it by taking those variety of strategies, that is taking courses from community college, studying other good writers' writings, their work, and try to emulate them. And combination of all those things helped me survive through those tough times and then succeed later on. And those things you learn became foundation, in my case, for getting admitted into law school. So that difficulties and challenges actually create an opportunity for me to get into admitted to law school. So first thing is to identify what those challenges are, and then strategize what's the best way to overcome those obstacles, right? And it depends on the obstacles involved. Not every obstacle is the same.
판사님 채팅창에 다음 질문이 2개 정도 더 있거든요.
네,
혹시 확인되시나요?
네네. 2개가 더 있어요?
저스틴 학생이랑 전예림 학생의 질문이 있었습니다.
네,
In the chatting chat,
캐린.
미스 김만 선생님 읽어드리는 게 좋을 것 같아요.
Sir,
저스틴 학생.
yes,
네.
yes, here. Can you
Yes, Your Honor, can you tell us how you became a good writer in English when you originally spoke and speak Korean?
When I came to United States, I couldn't speak English language at all.
Wow.
I finished elementary school in Korea. I came here, I couldn't speak, so they made me go back to 6th grade again. Then, of course, education in Alabama is far inferior than ones here. Here we have English as a second language courses where they focus on people from foreign countries to enhance their language skills and writing skills. They didn't have that focus in Alabama. So by the time I became senior, I wasn't a good writer. I could memorize things and do well in history, and of course I was rational and logical and good at math. So I did those things well, but writing-wise, I was really inferior. That was one of the reasons why I decided to become an engineer, so as to avoid writing. But I didn't realize even engineers need to write. So, so that I become a good writer by studying good writings and reading and try to emulate good sentences, sentence by sentence analysis, and look at the not only sentence structures to improve writing of good sentences, but also look at the paragraph structures to formulate good paragraphs. And when you are able to create good sentences and then later good paragraphs, then you can become a good writer, because when you combine the paragraphs, it becomes an essay, it becomes a brief, it becomes whatever writing project you try to create. So writing is no different from swimming. That's my view. Swimming, you could read about it in the book, breaststroke, backstroke, whatever stroke that may be. But when you are thrown into water and ask you to swim, you won't be able to swim. You have to, in order to learn to swim, you have to jump into water. And same thing with the writing. You have to write, and you have to study good writings, good writers' work, and try to emulate great sentences and create your own sentences that have a similar structure but sounds even better. And soon after, it becomes part of you and you become a good writer. I mean, that's how I became a good writer or decent writer.
Was muy close. Right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Last question is, I'm interested in studying law, but what are some steps I can take as a high schooler? I would recommend reading a lot of good books and write a lot. And those are two most important skills you can acquire to create foundation for anything you do. But more importantly, in the practice of law, communication skills is a must, whatever you do, but most important in the practice of law. So when you decide to go law school, is in the US, law school is a graduate school. So undergraduate, you can major in any area, just like I did in engineering. Some people do accounting, some people do history or English major or pharmacy, or even medical doctors become attorneys, believe it or not. One of my colleagues was a medical doctor, but he didn't like hospital politics, so he became an attorney. So, but the best attorneys are those who communicate well in writing as well in speaking. And best way to do that is read a lot of good books and write a lot to improve your writing, and speak whenever you can extemporaneously, so you can also improve your speaking skills. And those skills are probably the most important if you go out in the industry and to become successful. Any other questions? If not, thank you again for inviting me. I am really honored, and I hope sharing some of my experiences will be helpful to students, because I was like them, or maybe even less than what they were, what they are, because when I came to US, I could not speak the language. I wasn't a good writer. I wasn't the best student, but I was able to become what I am today through sheer determination, hard work, and perseverance, and always maintaining integrity and ethics, regardless of the temptation you may have because of the short-term advantages or other things you may desire, give you temptation to compromise your integrity or ethics. So in the long run, I think my view is having integrity and ethics with all the hard work, perseverance, and determination. Those things will get you where you want to go. And I have no doubt about it because a person like myself, my parents didn't have much expectation of me, unlike my older brother. But despite that, I become what I am today through those combinations of habits and attitude that I had. Thank you.
네, 강의 잘 들었습니다. 네, 중간중간에 학생들이 질문을 해주셔가지고 답변을 해주셨는데 혹시 또 직접 질문 아직 하고 싶으신 학생이 있으신가요? 마지막으로 한 명의 학생만 더 질문을 받아보겠습니다. 판사님, 여기 채팅창에 사실 저기 두 명의 질문이 더 있긴 한데 판사로서 그 AI 기술, 예를 들어 뭐 챗 GTP 같은 테크놀로지를 종종 이용하시나요?
법원에서는 이용을 하지 않습니다. 현재는 우리 행정법원에서는 그 이유는 많은 인포메이션들이 confidential한 인포메이션들이 많이 사용되기 때문에 챗 GPT로 사용할 경우에는 그게 confidentiality가 compromise 될 수가 있어갖고
네.
그렇지만은 현재 많은 법원에서 그 챗 GPT를 어떻게 그 efficiency를 랑 effectiveness를 improve하기 위해서 어떻게 사용할 수 있나를 고려하고 있는 중입니다. 근데 많은 법률 사무소에서는 챗 GPT를 사용하고 있다고 들었습니다.
네, 네, 알겠습니다. 지금 우리 다 같이 단체 사진을 한번 찍을까 합니다. 네, 사진을 찍을 시간이 됐는데 아직 화면을 켜두지 않은 학생들은 화면을 켜서 예쁜 얼굴들을 보여주시기 바랍니다. 저 사진 담당하시는 강구령 선생님.
네, 안녕하세요. 오늘 말씀
네.
너무 좋았습니다. 감사합니다.